Hi guys, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It depends where you are now. Okay, today we'll be doing some of the SQL stuff, some of the SQL commands and so on, and no SQL, both with Python, right? And this is exactly the program we'll be doing today. Let me share this thing with you first. Okay, this one is going to be SQL and no SQL in Python, which is going to be part 2. What I can recommend you guys to have more hands-on on SQL and NoSQL, especially for SQL, I would recommend you exactly to go to this website, which is w3schools.com/.sql. And this site is very, very good for those who haven't done any SQL before. It's really, it teaches you how to do it. Pardon me. And let's start now. And this is exactly the website I'm talking about. Let's stop this share. We should. Let's go exactly to that website. This is a website I'm talking about here. This website really is excellent. Okay, it's a very good website. You to teach you SQL, all the commands to some extent have hands-on as an administrator of SQL. Okay, so it's a SQL tutorial. You can start with the introduction here. You can read this if you want, but the most important thing are the syntax. Okay, we have here SQL. We have here SQL syntaxes, all of them, the SQL syntaxes, and then you can start to select. And select here, you can see select customer ID, name, city from, etc. And if you try this, you can start to select, you can start to where, not, update, delete, whatever. These all the SQL stuff, SQL joins, as we mentioned earlier. Again, we can SQL database. You have to create database, how to drop a database, how to create a table, how to remove a table, how to alter a table, how to create the primary keys, the foreign keys, as we have mentioned last time. So this is all what you need. All the SQL syntax is exactly what you need for your database. Okay, it's not a rocket science. It's straight away. It's a human language. This is exactly what I like. The SQL is human language. Okay. Okay. Let's start. Okay. Let's start with this one. For instance, we select customer name from customers. We select only the customer names, okay? We don't select anything else, okay? And this is exactly from customer table. This is a table called customer or database called customers, okay? If you click on this run, and you're gonna see exactly, we select customer name and city from the customer table, okay? This is the customer table or the customer, yeah, the customer table, okay? Or the customer to some extent, database. Okay, this is quite very important here. You can do something else if you want. You can try with where. Okay, this example, we select everything. When you see a star like this, it's everything. From customers, from this table, okay, we select everything where the country is Mexico. Well, the country is going to be only Mexico. That's it. Okay. Pardon me. We run this. As you can see, we select everything that's the customer ID. That's a customer ID, customer name, contact name, address, and so on. Okay, where the country is Mexico only. Okay, we can try here, for instance, Germany, for instance. Let's try Germany. Okay, and it's going to select our customers from Germany. And you can see we select everything, okay, from a table where our customers they live in Germany. That's one example. Another example, and for instance, let's give you an example. What's this about? We select everything from customers from, again, this one, where the country is Spain, and the customer, they start with G. Okay, we select everything where the country is going to be Spain, and the name of our customer is going to start with G. And we run this, and you can see the customer name, they start with G, all of them, both of them here, and both of them, they are from Spain. Another example, to get used to that, that's mean and maximum. All right. Okay, here we select the minimum price from a table called products. This table here, it's called product here. We select the minimum price from that table. You're gonna see only one output. Run this, and you see exactly the minimum price is going to be 2.5 from this table called product. Let's try another example. I want you to get used to that. Let's try between, SQL between, an example here. Before you start the example, you can see it's between this and this. We select everything from products where the price is between 10 and 20. We'll try it first. We select everything from the products, from this table called products, where the price is between 10 and 20, whatever, dollars or euro, it depends, okay? And we run this, and as you can see, the price here is between 10 and 20, okay? There's no price below 10, and there's no price above 20, okay? That's another example. We go further. Now it's up to you to play with this. It's in your hand now. Pardon me. Here, these are to create a database. You create a new database. Create database called whatever ANI. All right. And please don't forget the semicolon here. You can drop a database, get rid of it. You can create a table. Okay, how to create a table with its columns. Okay, what sort of data? Is it a gender? Is it the date of birth? It depends what you want to do. You can drop a table. Okay, you have all the possibilities here. You can select a primary key. Okay, here you create a table with a primary key with an ID here, and the ID is going to be here, like this one. For instance, it could be his phone number, it could be his not his name, because many people have the same name, student ID or employee ID and so on. Okay, you can create a foreign key here. Again, you can go through that and create a foreign key again here, a person ID in foreign key references, which is in the table here. Okay, so please have a look at that. Have a look at this website, please, and try to do it one by one until you finish exactly the exercise. It's very handy. Once you do it once, then it becomes like a piece of cake, okay? It's going to be very easy, guys, because this is a human language. It's not your programming in Python, or Python is a human language too. It's not like C, C++, or this is a database language, and it is standard. If you do it here, you can do it for all the databases available in the market. Okay? Okay, this is number one. Number two, let's move on now to let's stop sharing this one. And we share different things now. And let's increase the size. And then next one, exactly, that's the one here. We'll be doing with SQL at this stage with SQLite. Okay, why SQLite? First of all, it is free. Okay, it is free, and it can be installed on your laptop. And I'm going to show you exactly two ways how to do SQLite. There are two ways. Either you install the SQLite Studio, which is this one, and then you can install exactly from the SQL to the command line. Okay, which is this one exactly. So both of them are okay. I myself feel very comfortable when I'll be doing SQLite from the command line, because when you use the command line, you are in command of it. Okay, you know what's going on. The SQL Studio is easy too. It's very, very easy, and you can see exactly what you want. Now, to install the SQLite Studio, then you have to go to this. You have to, I will provide you exactly with a link to this, or you can Google this and you can install it. You can double click on it and it will install it. Okay, I'm going to show you an example here. SQLite. Stop sharing. And you look for SQLite Studio, and you see the SQLite Studio. You double click here, and you're going to share this. Once you share this, this is exactly the SQLite Studio. Okay, and here you can connect to a database. You can add a database, edit a database, remove it, and here we'll be dealing with the table. You create tables and so forth. Okay, this is SQLite Studio. Okay. Very, very easy. It's like you're dealing with Windows anyway. The other one is when you're beginning exactly with the other one is when you're beginning. Let me share first thing. Okay. Okay, let me get into the thing first. Okay, this one. Share it. And that's the one here. Okay. So this one we finish with SQLite Studio. Straightforward. You double click on this to be installed, and then you go to SQLite Studio straight away. This one, if you want to use the SQLite.org web, the website SQLite.org. This one is going to install for you guys the SQLite but from the command line. Okay. Once you go to this link here, you unzip it, and then you install it. Full stop. Okay, it's very, very easy. Okay, this one is going to install for you the SQLite for the command line. So what you have to do, you install this, you unzip it first, and then you go to the command line. And then once you install it, you go to CD from your command prompt, you CD SQLite, and then you type SQLite 3, and you are inside the SQLite. Okay, you're inside the SQLite. And you're gonna see in your installation the SQLite 3, you double click on this. Once you double click on this, you go straight over here. Okay, or you can go to CD SQLite and you go straight away to SQLite 3, which is this one. Okay, so there are two ways. First of all, the first one is SQLite Studio. You can install SQLite, and the second one you can install SQLite from the command line. Okay, there are two ways, and both ways are okay. All right. The next one is okay. Let me, if you want to see, sorry. Now, guys, if you want more information about the SQLite Studio or the SQLite, etc., so please watch this website, this YouTube website. Okay, it's very, very interesting. So it's done by a professional here. You can watch it, have a hands-on on. This video is for 10 minutes, and you can practice it for 15 minutes if you want. Okay, there's a database called Chinook. Okay, you can use it, or there's another database called Northwind. You can use it. Both ways you can do the SQLite practice. Okay, so next one is from the command line. Just give you an example. Again, here I don't want you to go through this in detail. This is away from the command line. Sorry, this is away from the command line. Create a database from the command line. Okay, what you have to write exactly from the command line, SQLite 3, the name of the database .db. It will create for you a database. Call it, for instance, John or whatever. Okay, and you check. If you check the database DBS or from the SQLite database, it will display for you the different database, the different databases. Okay, just give you an example here. I will do it myself for you guys. If you go to the command line, okay, and then you SQLite 3, not here, or probably it's not installed. Let me show it for you guys. It's very practical to know that. All right, SQLite 3, CMD, SQLite Lite. Okay, or SQL. Okay, CMD. Let me put the CMD CD SQLite SQLite. Okay, and then when you go here to the you go to check the SQLite your databases, to display all the databases. You can quit. You can do whatever you want. You can attach a database. Uh, if you want more information on this, on SQLite scripting, please go to sqlite.org/CLI, which is a command line.html, and you have all the scripting there. It's very easy. So it's here, for instance, SQLite 3 test.db. It will create a database called test.db. And if you type database like here, it will show you exactly the test DB. Okay, you can write, you can read, etc. And you can quit. Okay, it's up to you here. You can do a lot of stuff here. You can do the dir, and it will show you exactly what you have to do. Okay, if you want to do, if you can go to this here, you can go to C, you can do SQLite, and you can double click here. Okay, and you are here. Okay, and here, if you want to create from this, from here, you can create a new databases. Okay, I'm going to show it to you guys. Okay, I'm going to show it to you. Stop sharing. Share. That's the one here. Yeah, that's the one here. Okay, this one, you double click on this, and you get exactly the SQLite. And from here, you can create your own database. You can whatever you want to do. Okay, now you have all the scripts on the presentation. You can follow. And please, if you have any question here, if you have any question, you're lost to some extent. I understand. Some people get lost in the beginning because they have never used SQLite or SQL. If you have any question, in the comment, please tell me just you need some help on SQL. I will provide you the help you need. Okay. This number one. We start the sharing here. Let's move to the next one. The same here, how to create a table. Once in the SQL, this is MySQL, it's not SQLite, the MySQL, a different open source database. You create a table, and the table, you can populate the table with the name, employee ID, which is a column, name, the city, the salary, and so on. You can insert into the employee table, this employee table here, you can insert anything you want, okay? You can insert the name, the index is 2, the name, the city, the salary, etc. You can do it step by step. At the end of the day, select from employee, you're going to have all this. What has been created here or inserted here, you can see it here. Okay, and this is a table you have created. So it's exactly the same thing. Next one, we populate the table, we remove whatever we delete from, we delete a row from the table. It's up to you. So please, if you have any question around here, we have here some of the example here. You can follow it. Create table called company. We populate it. We create a table called department. We populate it, and then we can drop it. We can do whatever you like with it. Okay. So I provide you all the example here. You have all the example. We have inserted the data here. We have inserted the data here, and that's it. Okay. So anything to do SQL, not NoSQL, SQL with the command lines, or you wanna have a hands-on on it, please contact me, and and I'll provide you with some help. Okay, it's very easy. When you get into the database, you can create first database, and within that database, you can create the tables you want. How many tables do you want? The tables of employee, of the product, whatever you want. Okay, so this is number one. Number two, the next one is going to be SQL with Python. In SQL with Python, we're going to see how SQL is integrated with Python using some of the driver. Okay, sometimes the SQL is outside Python, and sometimes, like the case of SQLite 3, it's part of Python. Okay, it's part of the notebook. The notebook, it comes with a built-in SQLite 3. So in this case here, you can use SQLDB. You can use SQLite. If it is external, like the big databases, you can use PY or DBC. Okay, it's a driver to connect to the remote database. Okay, I'm going to show you later on some of the examples how to do that. Please, if you want more information on SQLite, go to this 56 minutes master using SQL with Python. So lesson number 6, created a database warehouse or data warehouse with SQLite. So if you want to have a look at this, please have a look at it. At least you have a very understanding of SQLite. So the first thing to do here to talk to the SQLite, first of all, is to import the SQLite 3. Before you import it, first of all, you need to install it. To install it, you need to put something like pip install SQLite 3. Okay. Now that's what you need to do. Okay. Once you do that, and then you have to import it, you have to connect it. I will go through this step by step more later on. Okay. Especially when you'll be doing the coding part of it. All right. This is the coding part of it. That's for the embedded SQL database, embedded with Python, the notebook. If it's not embedded with it, which is an external SQL database, we have to do with PY or DBC. And the PY or DBC, we have to import it. Before we import it, we have to install it. Pip install PY or DBC. That's for the external. That's for the internal one. Okay, that's for SQLite only. Okay, and this one for any database outside the SQL, outside notebook. All right, that's why here, in this case here, MS SQL, which is Microsoft SQL, and this one is outside the notebook. So you have to connect to the remote database and talk to it. Okay, and this is exactly the code. I will explain this in detail later on. Okay, so we have to import the PY or DBC, and you have to connect to the driver, the name of the server. In this case, it's the MSQL, the server name. What sort of it could be MySQL, it could be Microsoft SQL in this case, it could be Oracle SQL. It's up to you. Okay, it depends what sort of database it is. The PyODBC is a Python library. The PySDB here is a Python library that provides an interface for connecting to databases using the Open Databases Connectivity or DBC API. Okay. Next one is, this is exactly one of the codes here. You'll be going through, import the DBC, you have to connect, you have the cursor. I'll explain this, which is create a cursor object to interact with the database. You create a database, you create username, the name, the last name, the gender, whatever. These are the tables. You're going to create here the tables here. If it doesn't exist. If it does exist, you have to insert new data. You have to insert a new username, new F name, new N name, and new gender if you want to make the data a lot bigger. And here we, after finishing with creating the database, and we have inserted all the data, okay, John, name, whatever. At the end, we have to commit the transaction. Commit the transaction. We have to make sure exactly what we inserted is there, and then we can make any query from the database we want. Okay, I will go through this when I finished this session when it comes to the slides. Okay, and here with PY or DBC, exactly, we do exactly the same thing for something which is remote, for database, remote database. And here I'll provide you with the code here. I will go through this again later on. And here I'll provide you exactly what all the data we have seen here. We provide you, we import with PY SQLite or PY or DBC. Now, if you have the SQLite, what you have to do first is to import the SQLite 3. Okay, and this one is part of notebook. Right now, if your database is not SQLite, it could be any SQL. Okay, it could be from Oracle, from Amazon, from anything you want. So in this case here, you have MySQL, for instance. You have your database remotely, not embedded in the system. It's called MySQL. So you have to use exactly. You have to import MySQL connector. All right. That's for the MySQL. You have to import MySQL.connector. This one you have to import exactly py MySQL. Another approach. The next one is going to be exactly for the Postgres SQL. So you have to import PPC, okay, PSY COPG2. Okay, that's for Postgres SQL. For Oracle, CX _ Oracle. For Mango, this one is the NoSQL. Okay, you have to import exactly py Mongo. Okay, you have to pip install py Mongo first, and then you have to import it. I'm going to show you an example later on. For the SQL Server, so you have to import exactly py or DBC. This one is valid for any of these SQL except this one, because this one is part of Python. Okay, yeah, the Redis, import Redis. This is NoSQL. You have a Cassandra. It is a NoSQL. Import Cassandra, import Redis, and etc. Okay, this is a way how to import a database. So to recapitulate on that, this is for a notebook, because SQLite is within notebook. The rest here is going to be outside, which is not embedded in the system. Now for the NoSQL, what is NoSQL? Okay, and what and why are NoSQL databases? The characteristic of NoSQL databases, NoSQL database type. We're going to see that. So the NoSQL, it's non-tabular. To understand that, remember, guys, for the SQL is tabular. Okay, the SQL is tabular. We have tables, but the NoSQL is not tabular. The second one is no relational. There is no relationship between like the tabular databases. They have primary key, they have a foreign key, and all of them, all the tables are linked together. In the case of NoSQL, is very, very different. It is scalable, very scalable. NoSQL is flexible and simple. All right, it has been around since 1960, and because of the business needs and so on, NoSQL has not flight since then, and it has been around here for the last 20 years, mainly for the last 20 years. But what is good about it, it supports distributed storage and processing, and it's becoming very popular, and you can have a lot of data installed, and the storage is going to be huge. Okay, so the NoSQL, the number one, we have NoSQL type, we have the document databases SQL, and these databases are data in flexible JSON-like document. For instance, we have the files in JSON files, or we have documentation document. So NoSQL is good. And the best one for these cases here for document management and so on is going to be MongoDB, and Couchbase. This is the sort of NoSQL. Another type of NoSQL, it is used mainly to store key value pairs. Okay, and this one we have Redis, NoSQL, and we have Amazon, and we have DynamoDB. Okay, and the third one, which is mainly used for family stores, column family stores, data is organized into columns and column families. And the best one here, the best example is Apache Cassandra and HBase NoSQL. And the last one, which is graph NoSQL or graph databases, mainly we have Neo4j and Amazon Neptune, and this one is designed for managing data with complex relationships such as social networks or recommendation engines. Okay, and this is exactly the different types of NoSQL NoSQL in the market. Main ones we have Mongo, we have HBase, we have Neo4j, we have CouchDB, we have Amazon DynamoDB, and we have Cassandra. Okay. So for the NoSQL, which stands for exactly not only SQL, okay, we have SQL, we have not only SQL. It doesn't mean no SQL, there is no SQL. It's not only SQL. This is what it means exactly. It's a type of database management systems like the RDBMS, but it provides a non-relational or distributed approach to data storage and retrieval like the RDBMS. Okay, and this is exactly the names. We have here no single query. We have a standardized one. We have the use cases. That's use cases. We have the variety of data models. We have seen the variety of data models here. Okay, and then we have to understand there's something very important, that the NoSQL, it's not a replacement for traditional RDBMS system. Okay, they can work together, they can sit next to each other, but they complement each other. All right, it depends on the implementation, it depends on the size of the company, it depends. Okay, so we're going to see exactly in this example some of the Python implementation of the MongoDB, and if you want some of the the installation of your MongoDB, please go to this website and you can install exactly your MongoDB easily. If you want to install again something as a Neo4j, you can do it here. But again, the example we'll be dealing exactly with MongoDB NoSQL for document management. So again, here we have SQL here. We're dealing with the table here, but the NoSQL, you're not dealing with the table here. You're dealing with unstructured data. Here, very structured data tables, but here, second case, NoSQL, you'll be dealing with unstructured data, which is very, very powerful. And in the case here, you have a document. The case of the MongoDB here, you have how to put in. You don't have tables here. You don't have tables. You have documents, and documents here you have name of the person, age, status, etc. And you can see at the end of the day, you get the collection of the tables, the users, blog posts, you have comments, etc. And you can use them here. You have the title, you have the author, you have everything here. It's a document. Okay. I would provide you guys. You can. It's again here in this case here. It's a nested information within the title of the document. Okay, we're going to see that. Here, I provide you with this book. This book is all about mastering Mongo 7.0. It's a new book, 2024. So I will give it away for free. If you want to install, if you want to have access of this book, sorry, please download it from Google Drive. You'll see the link in the comment or in the description, sorry. Again, example here, MongoDB with Python. That's the code here. I'll go through it. And you have at the end of the day how to install exactly the MongoDB. People install UI Mongo, and then once you install it, you can run it. So the import UI Mongo. Okay, this is number one. Number two, I'll be going guys through the access. Okay, share something else. Okay, this is exactly the implementation of SQL, not NoSQL, just SQL queries. Okay, we're gonna import first SQLite 3. We have to establish a connection to the database. Is SQLite 3.connect, and this is the name of the database here. It's the name of the database you created. I can provide you. I'll be providing you with orders.db, which is database here. And what you're going to do here, you're going to connect the databases here. Okay, you're going to connect. You're going to do way of connection by reading it with R, or by pointing to the main location of your orders. Okay, don't worry about this. We're going to create a cursor object to interact with the database, connect.cursor, and then we're going to execute any SQL queries here. I will give you an example, for instance, a cursor execute. This is a cursor execute. I want to create table, if it doesn't exist, table with user ID, F name, N name, and gender. I will create exactly this table. Okay, we create this table with user ID, F name, N name, gender, and later we'll populate it with exactly what the name is. And here we exactly the same thing. We have to create a table. Okay, we have to create a table, and this table, it has the order ID, date, user ID, total, etc. It's up to me. Okay, which is exactly the same. I create this table, another table, okay, which is order ID, date, user ID, and total. Order ID, date, user ID, and total. And these numbers here on the data, we can put them later on. Okay. And we're gonna execute cursor execute here, which is this one. Okay. This one is cursor execute, and this is a query, SQL query here. Okay. And then you're gonna do cursor execute. We're gonna insert the data step by step. Okay. I'm going to insert the data step by step. This is exactly the number. This is the name, etc., etc. Female, gender, etc. We can do exactly the same thing. Okay. So we can put data we want here. This is a customer we have put in the data. Again, all the data we need, which with a query. The query we have done here, instead of insert, we do select. Okay, select from the data from the users, anything from the users, and we run this and we get this data only. Okay, now if you want more details about this query, please go to this website I sent you. Okay, and we're here to select everything from the users. We have 1 user, 2 user, 4 user. Okay, in the database we have, in the table we have inserted Nick, Lois, and Bruce. All right. So here you have to fetch everything. You have to fetch here. When you write fetch, it means get all the data from users. Okay, and we got all the data from users here. Okay, this is everything here. In this one here, we got only 3 results here. Okay, we got 3 results. Fetch many. We ask for 3 results: 1, 2, and 3. Okay, here it's everything, because between brackets here there's nothing. Then I'm going to get all the fetch all. Okay, and you go through this step by step. You select everything from where the name is Parker. There's no Parker because the Parker had deleted the user Parker, and deleted it. When I look for it here, it doesn't exist anymore. Okay. And here we again we have done some left join user. Please go through the left join or right join and educate yourself on that. You can go back exactly to this website. This website will teach you exactly the left join, the right join, and the one in the middle. Okay, this is very simple stuff. Very simple how to deal exactly with SQLite. Okay, and the same thing is going to be exactly for any SQL, MySQL, Oracle SQL, Microsoft SQL. But the thing we're going to change is not only going to be the SQLite 3 here, is going to be quite different here. All right, I showed you the list you need to put. Okay, the next one, the next one is going to be with Mongo. Right, the Mongo, we're going to install pip install Mongo, which is no SQL here. Okay, Mongo is no SQL. We have to install it first, and then we have to open the client or Mongo client, and this client is going to interact between you and the database. The database called Mongo is sitting here, and you are here in front of the client, and the client here is going to be this GUI or this API. Okay, so how to get this one? Get this one. I'm going to show you how to take this one and put it straight away into Chrome or into an IE, which is Internet Explorer. Sorry, into Chrome. Sorry, and then you get the GUI, which look like this. Okay, GUI like that. I'm going to show it to you. What does it look like? The GUI. Pardon me. Sharing. I'll show you the GUI now. This is the GUI what you're gonna have exactly. And this is exactly the local host, and this is exactly the port 27017. Okay, which is the local one. And this one is the client. And what you see in the client now, you see there's a database called Amin, Bookstore, MyDB. This is a database I have created before, right? And part of the database here, this database called med data, which is medical data. And then you click on patient data, and you will see we have patient here. We have the patient data, name, Maureen Skinner, age, gender, blood pressure, heart rate. As you can see here, we don't have tables, okay? We have just document, okay? And Mongo is used for document, okay, for document management. We have the document, there is no table here, and this table is interacting with another table. There's nothing called like this, okay? That's the patient data. We do something here somewhere else. Let's see, bookstore here, click on books. And this one, we have two names here. This is my two names here, Amim Hab, and here we have my two books, all right? And the object ID here is the unique identifier of this document, or this document number one and document number two into the books databases, okay? Another example here, we can have products here, for instance, laptops. Yes, we have, pardon me, we have three names. We have three names of the laptops here. 1, 2, 3, with the price, with the quantity, with the brand. Again, as you can see here, that's where we present exactly the NoSQL into Mongo, which is exactly a document for each product. Okay, so you create as much DB as when you want, as much DB as you want. We have the training, wiki on the training, and exactly we have accessing MongoDB using Python, NoSQL database, etc., etc., etc. Okay, the concept is straightforward. We're not dealing here with tables. We're dealing only with document, and document, that's how we present it into NoSQL. That's one. Okay, now I go back exactly to my Python. All right, and share it. Okay, yeah, well, that's the one here. Okay, as you can see here, Mongo client here, that's the website. As you can see here, you remember we have Amin database, bookstore, we have medical data. You can see them here. It's a snapshot, so etc. Okay, and here you can export your data, you can update your data, you can delete your data, you can create a new database if you want. If you want, I can show it to you. It's very, very simple GUI client to handle and to use it to interact exactly with MongoDB, which is at the back end of your in your organization. Okay, that's the way to deal exactly with MongoDB. Now, if you want more information on that, please have that book. It will show you a lot of stuff. At the same time, I post for you guys. There is a link for your MongoDB YouTube. Okay. Now there's data here, metadata, and then the data patient data. We include the name if you want, inserting data to the name, age, sex, blood pressure, heart. That's the way to include it, okay, in your database, in Mongo database. Again, here we have finding for the data we put in my MongoDB. I have the first one is going to be marine. The second one is going to be, the first one is going to be marine, and so on. Okay. And here we print the data. Okay. Assuming my collection in your collection obtained from the database, we print what sort of data we have. We have the age, blood pressure, etc., etc. Here we have the patient record, which I have put earlier. The first one, the second one, and the third one, which is Sally and Joyce, Adam, etc. Okay, and then it's exactly the same thing. Okay, the concept is exactly the same thing, except for dealing with MongoDB or NoSQL is quite different. We're not dealing with tables again, we're dealing with document. And each data we see here is a document on itself. Okay, it's not a table, it's a document. That's where we put exactly, we insert the data into the MongoDB. I hope this is clear, guys. I hope this is clear. Now, if you want get more SQL, NoSQL skills, we have another file which is called the NoSQL, which is called exactly use case module 37 NoSQL. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, the NoSQL database, we have 4 types. We have the key value pair, we have the document, which is MongoDB here. Here it's Redis. We have the column one, which is Cassandra, and we have the graph one, which is Neo4j. Pardon me. And here it shows you exactly how to get access to the database, how to fill exactly the insert the data, and so forth. Okay, if you go further, the MongoDB is very flexible model, is powerful, it stores a lot of data based on JSON document, etc. Okay, so there's a way how to install it, how to call it, how to import it, and how to import the client. We do exactly the same what we have done earlier. Again, if you see the name of the databases, okay, database name, you can see exactly that's my name here. All the databases I showed you earlier in the client, they're here. Okay, and you can do exactly the same. Okay, so there's no difference here, and they show you exactly here the first name, the second name, the third name, etc. Okay, name, age, class, section. You can follow exactly the thing here. Okay, nothing special here. All right. Okay, guys, you can go through that. Please go through that step by step. If you have any question, please mention it in the document. Okay, you can mention it here. You can mention it. You receive everything here in the description here. You receive the link. You receive these files. Okay, and then you can get into my Google Drive. Okay, and for anything, any queries, please contact me through the comments. All right. Okay. Okay. This stage is fine. Okay. I hope you enjoy my lecture here. Please, for again, and again, if you have any question, please contact me. You will be more than welcome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Have a good day.